I'm Gail, the palm plant girl. I've been the palm plant girl for about 10 years now. I think the name sort of stuck. And the way I got started was my husband and I lived on 7 acres in Placerville. And there was a pond about, oh, maybe 3 times as large as the one here. And so I decided to clean it out because it had a bunch of this grass-like stuff growing in it, and I didn't know what it was. So every time I pull it out, it'd grow back. Pull it out, it'd grow back. So I'm like, okay. So I went on online to find out what it was, and I found out it was valuable. And it was a nectarus, which is something that koi breeders love to feed their fish. And so that's an underwater plant that oxygenates and clarifies the water. And also a lot of koi breeders like to feed it to the fish as well. It's good for them. It keeps away raccoons, it keeps away dogs, cats. Salesmen, it can. But I was listening to what you were saying about the naturalists as far as keeping the water clear, and I'm a naturalist. And so there are ways to keep algae out of the pond without using the barley. Barley's good though, but of course you can only use it in the moving water.
And it works.
Water hyacinth does work great, and it produces beautiful purple flowers. Very prolific grower. And as you can see the roots down here, a lot of koi breeders like water hyacinth because it makes for a good environment for spawning koi. They like the roots because the little fish fry can hide in there. And so that's one. So when you put it in the water, you can actually see the dirt particles and algae just attract to it like a magnet. You can actually see it, and the dust, dirt particles or whatever, the excrement and everything will stick to the roots. And then, but because it's such a prolific grower, you might end up with some enough that would cover your whole pond and a lot more. But what you do before it gets out of control, you pull it out, throw it in the mulch pile, throw it in your vegetable garden. It makes the most excellent mulch for your garden because there is fish emulsion in the roots and in the plants. And you'll get the biggest plants in your garden just by throwing waste hyacinth in the garden.
Like artichokes?
Like artichokes, exactly.
And if you're adventurous.
Another option, which is also a very aggressive plant, is the water lettuce. It has a different color root system. It's blonde instead of dark purple. And that is very prolific as well.
Does it bloom?
It does. Well, it blooms, so it grows little tiny white flowers on the inside. So not the outstanding purple flowers like the hyacinth, but I think it kind of looks like little green roses.
It's great with ranch dressing.
You've eaten water lettuce before?
No.
I was going to say, it's not, I don't think it's edible.
I think it's anything. It's kind of like this.
In your opinion, what ratio of any of the plants you're going to show us would have to be on your surface to? I started with 20 plants. My pond is 29 by 13 by 40 inches. I started with 20 plants in 6 months. I had a strip of water about 2 foot wide. But my water, unbelievable, was crystal clear.
Oh yes, it will be very
But what ratio do you need to stop that growth and then make it do
I would say your pond needs to be covered by 1/3 plants. About 1/3.
So one of those that we were talking about, would you just put, I was taught just get one, because they just take
Oh yeah, I would just get I would just get a couple, you know.
What do you buy it then if it's not on California?
Oh, the frog bit? You get it from me, I have a secret stash. So, we'll talk later.
It's amazing that water hyacinths I've heard are outlawed in all kinds of states.
They are
But not California.
They are acceptable in California. There's some types of water hyacinth that are illegal in California, but this last season I was inspected by the Department of Agriculture. Yeah, someone reported me. They saw me on Craigslist and freaked out. So, but But these are approved by the Department of Ag in California, so it's, you know, so if someone complains, oh, you don't want a hyacinth in your yard, just tell them that. I'll recommend.
And the best way to treat them is with potassium permanganate.
But you know, I have managed to kill water hyacinths actually by using insecticide soap because they have large pores. And so if you use this, you know, the kind that you make yourself in the kitchen with you know, the dish soap and maybe some oil, if you spray that on there, they will die off because, you know, most pond plants have very large pores, and that will also kill water hyacinth. So some other things I've got here. Water gardens can be both very large and very small. And this is my little tiny water garden from my house. And of course this is some common rush here, and I've got some horsetail rush and some fuzzy clover, which is really neat because it has 4 leaves. It's like little shamrocks, but they're fuzzy and very soft.
Hey Frank, this is Roger.
And any type of iris you can grow in a pond. So I suggest never buy something marked water iris, because all it is iris. For real, yeah.
So do you want in the ground?
Yeah.
For the pond?
Yes. The kind you put right straight in the ground, you can put it right in your pond. What I do is I slowly acclimate it to the watery conditions. Just a little bit of water and increase it more every day so it gets used to the new environment. And yeah, you can grow iris straight in the water. So this little piece came right out of my pond that I have in my yard.
What's that?
Ask her, how come your iris is blooming?
She cut it out of her yard.
Well, ours are all. Those irises around our tree.
It's special.
Maybe you
It's
need
what?
maybe you need
It's special.
water hyacinth to put with your irises.
In different areas, they bloom at different times too.
Okay.
And that's a totally different variety.
Okay.
Yeah, I was real pleased with that. Water hyacinth and water lettuce are very easy to keep alive during the wintertime. I just put them in a Rubbermaid bucket, just cover them up with plastic, and they'll survive. Yeah, they will, because if they get frostbitten, they will die. Canna in your yard, that can also go in the water. Do not buy water canna because it's the same as regular canna. This came from a friend of mine. Her name is Cecile, very wonderful lady, and she dug up all her extra canna and gave it to me. And so now I have this growing in my pond. And of course, this will get about 4 feet tall, and this particular variety will grow bright orange flowers. So this could go in your pond or right next to your pond. And well, I don't know, dear. Wild, yes, I would assume. Yeah. It's not Uncle Ben's.
It's Uncle Tom.
Is it Uncle Tom?
Tom, get a vermicelli plant to go with it and you'll have that rice pilaf.
If I put on the island where Sue's going to
So, of course, it's difficult to hold
She's just gonna
rice
put you on a raft and
unless
throw
you
it
actually
away.
have a rice holder. But what's really good about this is that the roots are edible and they're very sweet.
I have a lily from Home Depot. It's in a little root ball. Last year it sent up the leaves to the surface of the water. This year the leaves are staying about an inch away from the root ball and very tiny. And they're just staying that way and have been for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Any reason?
Yeah. I haven't had any luck at all buying lilies from Home Depot or Lowe's. A lot of times they'll rot right in the pot no matter how well you take care of them. So you're lucky that yours is still alive.
Well, we think it's alive.
They take a lot of fertilizer, so it might need to be repotted. And you could take some regular like clay-like soil and mix it up with a little bit of sand or gravel, and then put some pond tabs at the bottom of the container.
Okay.
And that should help it really spread out. But thank you. This was a pleasure.
Well, thank you very